Here's to the finest crew in Starfleet.
When it comes to my crew, you won't get any argument from me.
This is a parody. Paramount owns the song.
Welcome to The Greatest Generation. It's a Star Trek podcast by a couple of guys who are just a little bit embarrassed about having a Star Trek podcast. I'm Ben Harrison.
I'm Adam Pranica.
And if you're wondering why you're watching this podcast on YouTube and not just listening to it on your phone, it's because it's a Code47 episode, Adam.
Whoa! Whoa!
Bill Tilley, our Xindi wartime consigliere, has been hard at work screening DM inquiries about the P.O. box and
tasting food before it comes through. That's one of his jobs.
Everybody knows that he makes sure that things aren't lethally poisonous before they get sent to us.
Yeah.
But we have a great big pile of stuff here, Adam.
That is one big pile of shit.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we should probably get right into it.
Open it up.
Captain, I'm sorry to disturb you.
I'm receiving a Code 47.
Verify.
It is Code 47, sir. Starfleet emergency frequency.
Captain size only.
All right. First thing in the mailbag here is a postcard from Pakistan. It's the ruins of the old Marie Brewery factory in Marie. I don't know if I'm pronouncing Marie correctly, but
Oh, man. Could you imagine the brews coming out of that facility when it was at full thrum?
I know. I mean, it looks like it's fallen into disrepair. I don't know. I feel like Pakistan is not one of the Islamic countries that completely forbids the consumption of alcohol.
You know what? This is what's happened to our small boutique breweries around the globe. They just get gobbled up by large corporations like
Sure.
InBev or whatever.
Right.
Clearly, that's what's happened here in Pakistan.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, a bunch of millennial Pakistanis were like, hey, man, like, these IPAs are really hot right now, and we got a homebrew kit off the internet. We know what to do, and this is what it looks like now.
You know, yeah. You know what? I think FODs would expect full-throated support for our Pakistani brewery folks. Not if you're making a bunch of IPAs. You get what you get.
I still enjoy them, but there's a time and a place.
Like cooking with. Cooking a bunch of sausages. That's what I do with my IPAs.
Yeah. I also enjoy them as beverages, but here we go. Dear Ben and Adam, greetings from Islamabad. This postcard is of an abandoned brewery in Pakistan that just screamed your names. Did you know that Gemodar, Ferengi, and Gul are all Urdu words, and Bajor is a region in northwest Pakistan? Anyhow, love your show. You keep me company on my weekend walks. Shout out to my pal Marcus. Not David Marcus, just Marcus. I'd send you some Marie beer, but it's not good enough to be worth hoping it arrives in one piece. Roll air and drop.
I love the self-censorship on the sending of beer. Good job.
Yeah, good job. Also very tricky to do internationally, I imagine. Both from a regulatory and from a keeping it all in one piece standpoint. The sign-off here is Trek Zindabad. I think the name is Havand or Howard. But also there's a PS. My two sons' names are Ben and Harrison.
Incredible!
Wow! What an honor. I'm sure that happened because of this show.
I'm sure that the mother has no idea. Yeah, those are great names. How'd you think of them? Oh, I don't know. I'm sure we have relatives named both.
Yeah.
Important relatives.
I'm looking forward to our next tour where we do have a tour stop in Islamabad. I think it's long overdue.
Gonna need a large guarantee for Islamabad.
Next one here is also international mail. This one came out of the UK from Balsham, Cambridge. From Ed F. out of Balsham. I know I'm pronouncing that one wrong, but...
You know, after a particularly sweaty workout, and maybe if you can't change right away after, like maybe, I don't know, for whatever reason you got to wear the sweaty clothes, I've often found what results is balls ham, a very salty balls situation.
A brine, if you will.
I mean, I'll see. By the time I get in the shower, I'll find a couple of cloves stuck in there. Maybe a nice honey glaze.
Yeah, some aromatics. It's all very. It's festive, you know.
Yeah.
It's a reason it's a holiday delicacy. Dear Ben and Adam, aka the Littlest Midshipman and the Loblolly Boy. I'm a longtime fan of podcasts from the Uxbridge Shimoda stables, but a first-time sender of gifts. On a recent trip to San Diego, I had the pleasure of accidentally stumbling across the Maritime Museum, where, amongst other things, they have the tall ship that was used as the HMS Surprise in Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World. As an aspiring boat dad, I can sail, but I'm yet to own a boat. I had a great time geeking out on the ship and chatting with the Dosent, who appeared to be running some kind of boat dad fantasy fulfillment service, and was kind enough to take a photo of me at the wheel. It also put me down a bittersweet memory trip of your previous war film podcast when I saw the HMS Surprise pins in the gift shop. I figured you would both get a kick out of them. An HMS Congratulations or HMS Enterprise pin would have been optimal, but I guess we can't have everything in life. Thanks for everything you do. Your podcasts have been with me through many a major life event, both the good and the bad, and I'm always excited to see a new one hit my podcast app, especially enjoying Wholesome right now. Much love, Ed.
That bit just flew right back into my consciousness. The whole runner of there should be an HMS Happy Birthday or any number of other names for ships if HMS Surprise is such a formidable opponent on the high seas.
Indeed. Well, here's what Ed has sent. A couple of enamel pins of the HMS Surprise, one for you and one for me.
Beautiful. That's going to go right on a suit jacket lapel. Actually, is that stolen Dosent Valor if I did that? I probably couldn't do that, huh?
I feel like if you're wearing gray trousers and a blue jacket, you can't do it. But if you're wearing something a little bit more, on trend, I think you can get away with it.
Is a Dosent both the best and worst job ever? Best because you get to talk about the thing that you like.
Yeah.
Worst because you cannot escape from someone who just wants to chat you up.
Oh, yeah.
For longer than their appropriate amount of time.
I guarantee there are people who are temperamentally incapable of reading social cues that want to tell you everything they know about that type of boat.
It's like a Dosent measuring contest. Like, oh, you're a Dosent?
Oh, you're a Dosent?
I mean, I could be a Dosent. I just don't want to be.
There's a place at Griffith Park here in Los Angeles where you can ride a steam train, and this appears to be entirely maintained by grandpas that, are doing it at scale rather than taking up their entire garage for a train set.
They're train gramps.
I feel like it's a really good thing because they have found each other.
They're not going to bother anyone there.
It's Dosent on Dosent crime,
Yeah. Is Jerome old enough for train ride? That is a formative memory for me when I was really little. Few people know I was actually born in Southern California, and I remember one of my earliest memories was riding one of those trains.
Yeah, he's both old enough and a pretty dedicated enthusiast of I would say every other weekend we are getting on one of the many miniature train rides around Los Angeles.
I mean, you're going to blow his little mind once you tell him about the garbage trains. That haul garbage.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, he just had an operation to put tubes in his ears, and he had to do drops in his ears for he had to lie on his side while we did drops, and the only way we could get him to hold still was either put on one of the many YouTube videos that is just hours and hours of compilations of trains going by, or hours and hours of compilations of garbage trucks going by.
Or extreme measures.
Or, yeah, we did do extreme measures one of the days, because he, if there's one thing he loves more than trains and garbage trucks, it's murdering hobos for medical science.
I mean, is there a better way to honor the life and legacy of Gene Hackman than watching extreme measures? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's the way he would have wanted us to remember him.
Yeah.
All right, this next package is from Jessica D. out of North Chesterfield, VA. Got a great big Starfleet insignia on the back. I would say that.
So we got a Balls Ham package and we got a Chesterfield package. A lot of body part places.
Yeah, Chesterfield is also like a leather sofa, right?
It is.
I feel like you could make some Balls Ham sitting on a Chesterfield if you're, not in a well-ventilated room.
Not a breathable fabric, and if it's tucked leather Chesterfield, maybe you get some unintentional sinking into those holes.
I would hate to have that happen. All right, internal second envelope.
I like that. I like it double loped.
Yeah. This has the feeling of like it got packed at home and then they went to the post office and realized, oh, you're going to need to put this in one of the priority mail slips that we have here.
Do you think there's a chance of that happening? Your wife sends you to the grocery store with a shopping list and you're doing shorthand stuff. Double lopes is on the list. You come home with 2 envelopes instead of 2 cantaloupes.
Oh,
what
man.
a nightmare.
Yeah. Talk about making some balls ham.
I know. That's a tough day around the R. Harrison household.
Dear Adam and Ben, Discovery was my first TV Trek, and all I had seen prior to that were the J.J. Abrams movies.
That's like a gold star Trekkie, isn't it?
I know. I wanted to find a podcast that would let me in on any background or lore I wasn't aware of, and that is how I stumbled upon Greatest Trek. At that time, I had no intentions of watching any of the previous series, but I got hooked on listening to you guys talk about Trek, and I have now watched all of TNG, DS9, and Voyager, all while listening to the pod after each episode. This is pretty much the only TV I have consumed for the past year, and was getting pretty bummed as I was closing in on the end of Voyager, realizing that if I kept up with the pace I was going, I likely will be caught up with Enterprise before any new Trek dropped. Then I remembered I hadn't finished Lower Decks, or even started Prodigy, and I breathed a sigh of relief, knowing there was still a plethora of Trek pod out there waiting for me. I saw this book at a local Overstock store, and I knew I had to send you guys a copy. Hopefully Ben enjoys reading it to his little ensigns as much as I do mine, who refer to Trek as Mommy's Space Show. Thanks again for all of the amazing pod thus far and to come. Happy holidays, and as always, LLAP, friend of DeSoto and a regular, Jessica D. Wow, thank you, Jessica.
We need to come up with a term for this order of consumption. Like, it's kind of backing it in, isn't it?
Yeah. The man, I wonder if Jessica caught it when they aired like those first 2 episodes of Discovery on actual TV.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you were already a Trek fan, I get signing up for Paramount Plus for it, but otherwise it's hard to imagine.
I know. That's how they get you. The first 2 are free on CBS.
What we've got here is Star Trek Trek the Halls, a holiday-themed book to boldly celebrate where no Gorn has celebrated before. And it looks like this really spans the eras of Trek. I see characters from all the different shows on here.
How about that?
Some really fun illustrations.
Ah, sweet. I mean, there are Kardashians attending those celebrations. Like, what's with the Gorn's hate? Wow, what a full spread of desiccated turkey.
They're also observing Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, and maybe is that Tet? That candle dish there?
Oh, yeah. Just absolute house fire waiting to happen with the amount of candles on the table.
I hope it isn't offensive if that isn't for Tet. Wow. There's even some. They're even putting some decon gel on the Christmas tree in this picture.
I really hope that people respond to and respect the absolute line that was by you, Ben.
I hope so. I don't know.
I do.
All right, we still got a bunch of packages here. Lots to get through today.
Go faster!
All right, this one's from Stephen T. out of New York, New York. Little guy.
It's like a jewelry box. It's very small.
This also appears to have been sent in around the holidays. Sorry it took us so long to get to these. Season's greetings. I hope you enjoy this year's ornament as much as I enjoyed making it, or more. This year there is an accelerometer, and some of the modes will react to how you hold it. You may have noticed the USB-C port this year. You can use this instead of a battery. But if you connect it to a computer, it will show up as a USB drive, and you can see and modify the source code. I wanted to make it as accessible as possible.
That is so presumptuous.
When I take this out of the box, Rob, if you could just add lots of code streaming.
Of course, sir. All in a day's work, sir. Right away, sir.
If you have any interest, I encourage you to try it out. No special tools are needed, and if you've never coded before, this would be a great way to try it. Go to github.com/terabyte3/snowflake to find out how. Instructions: remove orange tab from battery, slide power switch to turn it on.
I gotta say, like, one of the low-key best feelings I can feel. It's right up there with taking the sheet of protective film off the front of a new phone, is pulling that plastic tab that activates a battery in a battery-powered thing. Oh, that's so good.
This is the ornament. There's a couple of them here.
Stefan, your candy cane ornament is a totally great addition to my holiday season. It's so bright. I love it. It definitely has a place in our home, and I'm looking forward to adding Snowflake to that.
Pulling tab. Oh, and there's a button. Let's see. Oh, and there's a switch. Wait. Oh, here we go. Something's happening. Can you see the glow?
Yes. That's great. Nice one, Snowflake. Really gorgeous. Really great work there.
There's one for you and one for me, Adam. So
Love it.
Well, I will set those aside for you. And there's a bunch more instructions from Stefan about what to do and details for nerds about how these were created. So, I ain't a nerd. I'm not going to be able to understand that stuff.
Yeah, here's what you and I are going to do. Pull out the tab, hit the on switch.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the blackjack dealer thing. That's it. That's all we're doing.
All right, this next one is from Curtis G. from Santa Cruz, California. It's to Ben and Adam. And it's attention Benjar Pranik.
Curtis has been very generous with the drinkables over the years.
Dear Ben and Adam / Adam and Ben, if you don't have enough poop already in your lives, please accept this traditional Catalonian good luck symbol that I picked up on a recent trip to Barcelona. I was a little worried that it would be too much until I listened to your episode on Prodigy where you were talking about Murph jacking it to a hologram. So this is a very recently sent gift here.
He definitely spent on the fast delivery.
Yeah. The kaganer, or pooper, is apparently some kind of metaphor for fertility or something. It's apparently a great honor to be represented as a kaganer, as they have hundreds of different ones available. You can see more of them at kaganer.com.
Kaganer sounds like a name for a red shirt Klingon that goes on the dangerous away mission, you know?
Yeah.
I hope we all come back from battle. But one could not make it home. One has gone straight to Stovokor. Kaganer!
His name sounds like something that you would yell at the heavens to let them know a warrior is coming. The possibilities for podshop.biz are endless, although it might be kind of a specialized market. Believe it or not, in Catalonia for Christmas, they always have a Kagatoio, or the poop log, which is an actual log that you dress up with Odo eyes, a hat, and a kilt, and then beat it with a stick while singing a song to get it to poop out candy. I swear I am not making this up. I hope this gift brings you peace, prosperity, and health, and inspires you to ever greater heights of poop jokes. Your pal, Curtis G. Here's the Kagatoio here in Curtis's letter.
Kind of a Fozzie the Bear face to that log.
P.S. Lest you think I'm making this all up, here's photographic evidence of one of the many shops in Barcelona that sell these things.
Yeah, there they are.
There they are. They have like a bit of a bobblehead aesthetic to them, I would say, but the lady out front dropping a deuce out from under her skirt is a real vibe.
Oh yeah. She's got a hover.
She sure does. All right. This is kind of, despite the recency of this one being sent in, kind of also got some holiday theming to it, doesn't it?
This is great. Feels very festive on the Code47 today.
Okay. Wow, there's some Kaganer information in almost every language known to the United Nations. And what we have here is Mr. Spock, also in a hover, dropping a big fat one on the floor behind him. That is really tremendous stuff, Curtis. Thank you.
I want to say I'm surprised, but there truly is a Star Trek version of every merch item.
Man.
Incredible.
I can't believe we didn't think of this before the Catalonians and put this in podshop.biz, honestly.
I would have thought that the pile would be a little more symmetrical.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it seems like a sort of low logic pile there.
Yeah.
This thing is a really handmade feeling. Like, I don't know if I can get my camera to focus, but like the paint strokes are like hand done, man.
I can't believe that exists in the world.
How did Van Sitters sign off on this when we can't get him to respond to an email about a goddamn window screen?
Yeah, it's really baffling how the Star Trek industrial complex chooses its merch.
All right, last package today, Adam, and it's a heavy one. This one's from Corey out of Monongahela, Pennsylvania. Definitely don't feel like I pronounced that correctly.
That is a mouthful. You know, when you're writing your return address on the envelope, you're just going all the way across with something like that.
Monongahela? I don't know.
Spice Monongahela?
The spice Monongahela must flow. Wow! All right, okay, here's a letter. All right, I'm going to read the letter before I reveal what's in here.
Okay.
Hi, Ben and Adam. I was inspired by the wholesome episode on the Greatest Trek feed where Ben shared about his tabletop group and Adam his history of playing D&D and thought you folks might like some legally distinct Trek minis. I jumped into a site that lets you build custom minis and got to work kit bashing some parts together to make some for you too. Unfortunately, some of the kit bash parts were too small for print, so I had to settle for their acrylic standee tokens instead. I have packaged them here for you two, plus one for Bill as a thanks for all the work he's done over the years for you guys. Included are also QR code links in each bag in case you wanted to see the full mini designs. On top of that, I have included the Star Trek Adventures 2E rulebook and the Lower Decks campaign guide in case Ben wants to run it at his table or you guys are inspired to do a Max Fun Drive bonus ep for the pod. No presh. It is also simply fun to read through as a Trek fan. Thanks as always for bringing levity and brightness into the world right now. We need it. Hope to see you back in Pittsburgh again. Maybe you'll run into another muscle builder convention at your hotel. LOL. LLAP Lockley. and this is at lockleyfox.skyway.cafe on BSky. All right, so what we've got here is the cellophane wrapped Star Trek Adventures manual. So this is the tabletop role playing game based on Star Trek and the expansion pack of campaigns for Lower Decks, which is really exciting.
We should at least make some characters as a bonus ep or something, right?
We've got some characters here ready to go, and it looks like they've been printed out. Here's the Adam Pranica printout. Let's see.
Ben's held up a little game piece that looks like it's got my face on a red shirt's body.
Oh, look! It's got a little acrylic standee there.
Yeah, so that's gonna be me going around the game board.
Yeah, and it looks like you're holding some kind of I don't know, some kind of plasma spanner or similar.
Yeah, that's what I'd be doing.
All right, and here is my character, also holding an indeterminate piece of equipment, but I've got some kind of...
Are you wearing sunglasses?
I think they're just tinted regular glasses upon close inspection. It's tough to get the camera to focus on these guys.
In a Star Trek future, I think that works. You would be wearing transitions glasses.
I mean, that's the wave of the future, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, and last but definitely not least is... This is great. The Bill Tilley one. Probably the closest likeness of the three of us.
Bill's looking great. Bill is wearing a yellow uniform.
Here, I'll get them all three here.
That's great.
I think it's appropriate that none of us is a science officer.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Really, really great stuff. If you want to see pictures of the game pieces or anything else that's been open on the Code47, we're going to be posting a video to YouTube, but also photographs on Instagram and the rest of the socials, so check that out.
Thank you to Lockley and everyone who sent something in today. Really appreciated. What do you say we tarry no longer, Adam, and get into the episode we came to talk about today?
Can't wait, Ben. It is Star Trek Enterprise Season 3, Episode 2, Anomaly.
You're the captain, sir. You're entitled.
Not entitled to ramble on about something everyone knows.